All right, hello everybody, and welcome to Geopolitical Trend, where truth matters. Excited to be with you for our community conversation. I know we haven't had this for 2 months, so I'm very, very excited to do this. And I know it's the weekend, and some of you also wanted to chill out and enjoy your weekend. But to me, I like my time with the community here, especially now that the holiday is getting closer and Christmas and all that stuff. So I figured, yeah, why not? I'll spend some time with the community here, just chatting about nothing. Sometimes it's the beauty of doing nothing, just chatting about whatever. And that's what I intend to do here. So happy Thanksgiving to you too, Rafael. Thank you so much. Uh, yeah, it just I was thinking last night. Okay, well, what am I gonna share with the community? And I said to myself, I don't have to think. Just get there and say hi and chat. So let's see who's in our community here as always. Elisa Lewis, as always, hello to you from Great Britain. Alexi Rose, hello to you. Brianna, Olivia, Dr. O, you changed your old logo. I personally like that old one. Which one? I couldn't remember which one. So if you remind me, I'll take a look. So I asked Elizabeth last time. She helped me out. You to you, as always. The doctor can't join because I have doctor appointments currently. No worries, you go do what you need to do, man. It's understood. So, Cosmic Allen, hello from BC. As always, good to see you. YT, good to see you. Ramples1, hello to you as well. Willie Holman, good to see you from West Memphis. Rafael, as always, and much appreciate you, Rafael, for your kind support. It means a lot. I want you to know that. Muslim Revert. Uh, Hello to you, Doctor. Oh, you meant to say oh or no? Here's what you wrote: Muslim Revert, Doctor No. So I'm sure it was probably a typo. So Karakulak, good to see you. Salam from Colombia. Good to see you as well. Aaron, good to see you. And Q7E. Q7E, good to see you. And I did keep your question. So, as a matter of fact, why don't we start with that? So, here is what happened, guys. Q7 sent a comment and put a question. And the question is this. I'm going to read it to you. Dr. O, this is a question, and I quote, Dr. O, this is a question I am hoping you can give a response to when we have the conversation. I recently heard that we are ingesting about a credit card, yeah, a regular credit card, worth of plastics each week or month. I can't quite remember which. Are there ways of flushing such toxic materials from our bodies? Are there foods or drinks that can help? Thanks in advance. Looking forward to the conversation. Very interesting question, because here is, guys, what you need to know. And I have two pictures I want to share with you. So just to put it in perspective. So we all sometimes get those drinks or whatever, but you just have to be aware of this kind of stuff. So now the first picture here, which by the way I give credit to Yan Min, this is about figuring out what kind of plastic a person or animal can consume. So yeah, we do consume a lot of plastics. And as a matter of fact, I reached out to Dr. Stewart. You all remember him, right? But what you do not know about Dr. Stewart is that his specialty, besides psychology, is brain chemistry. Another word, he is the one who will understand your brain structure, the chemically speaking, and what other aspects that can impact it. This is where you get the likes of Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's. All this stems from, part of it has to do with what we consume and what we breathe. Well, here is the thing. And this is, I talk about the United States. I don't know about the other countries. So, because Dr. Stewart is very, very knowledgeable of this, that's his background. That's what he's dealing with his clients from around the world, helping them out. So, people in the United States consume and breathe between 74,000 and 120,000 microplastic fragments every year. Yeah, between 74 and 121,000 microplastic fragments. So now you ask yourself, and again, Dr. Stewart will be in a better position to explain all this. For me, I'm just going to share the information with you here. And as a matter of fact, I am talking to him. He's busy, but I am talking to him to find time for us to come over and help us out with like really understanding diseases like Alzheimer's, like Parkinson's, like dementia, and all that, and what's leading to this. Now, some of you might think, well, I am too young for that. No, trust me. I've seen people here as young as 35 run into some really chronic issues that only a decade or so ago we used to say this is for the older generation. So here is what happened with plastics. So plastic particles that enters the human body can enter either through the skin, okay, ingestion, or breathing. This is why you have to be aware of what you breathe. I have it in my bedroom. Basically, it's an air filter, a very special kind. It's not something you buy at Walmart. Those are medical devices that cost serious money, but it purifies the air. Now I can tell the difference if I sleep elsewhere versus if I sleep in my own bedroom, just because of how filtered the air is. And this problem with either the ingestion or the breathing of this kind of toxics can lead to reduced functionings of your brain. Yeah, whoever thought? I didn't know. This is one. And I remember when I sit down with Dr. Stewart, we go for cup of coffee once a while, and we chat, and he explained to me, because he's a wealth of knowledge. So he told me that. So this can result in depression. That's why you see people depressed, Alzheimer's, cancer, lung disease, and a long list of issues. So we humans are exposed to a large variety of toxic chemicals and microplastics through inhalation, ingestion, direct skin contact, all along the plastic life cycles. So an average person, as I mentioned, could be ingesting about approximately 5 grams of plastic every week. This is your answer, Q7E. 5 grams of plastic every week. See, when you go to Starbucks or whatever you get your coffee, they put it in that plastic. No, you are ingesting that. That's why, to me, my suggestion to you, make your own coffee at home. Yeah, or, I when I was in China, I went to certain coffee shops, and I asked them for a real mug, because I want to sit down and enjoy the coffee, not in plastic. And they all kind of were surprised that I asked for that. So the toxic chemicals, additives, and pollutants found in plastic threatens our human life, and our health. And this is not just on a global scale, because if you look at some scientific research that scientifically sort of proven health effects includes cancer, change in hormones activities, and you all know, guys. And again, I am just talking based on the knowledge that I gained from Dr. Stewart. If you only know, you make one small change to the hormonal cycle in your body, whatever that is, you'll mess up the whole system. And this is known as, in the scientific term, in endocrine disruption. So those who know medical field, we know what it is, which can lead to reproductive growth and cognitive impairment. So microplastic can harm our health and act as a vessel for pathogens to enter our system, in increasing the spread of disease. And this is why you have the issues that we are running now with young people, generation. So they because you think about the adverse effect of plastics, particularly regarding the children, for example, that or the ones they still in the womb before they were even born. And this where you have the issue for the prematurity. When some babies are born premature, because part of it has to do with all this, birth defect. You look at in India, for example, Pakistan, certain area, Bangladesh, there are certain area, a lot of toxics of plastics over there. So reproductive organs can be neurodevelopmental impairments, impaired lung growth, and child cancer. So I have another picture, guys, I want to show you. And here is the surprising thing. Check this out. Even birds, and by the way, I give credit rather to David Claude. That's his picture here. I like to give credit where credit is due. So what you're looking at, recent research linked now plastic exposure to changes to gut bacteria for some birds. Even birds are not prone to this. So this is what I'm saying, guys. Watch what you are consuming. So yes, the convenient food or whatever. No, your health is worth more. Your health is worth more. So this is what I want you just at least to understand this one here, because it's very important. I always say, your health is your best asset. Money comes and goes, cars comes and goes, and whatever. You know what I mean. You lose your health, it's over. Because you see, and I used to have some, good friends. I call them friends, even though they were older than me, well-to-do financially, but they couldn't walk. So I have to assist them and walk them and help them out because I consider them a friend of mine. So this is what I wanted to just answer that question for Q7E. So, and of course, if you have a question, I will be happy to answer it for you. So, Army with Harmony. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. I didn't forget about you because I was going to show a picture of, and I'll do it next time. I just didn't get to it. So I had to detail the engine of my car. So I'll do it next time. Or I might do it I don't know when. But anyway, I took of that and I thought of you. So Army with Harmony, I remember because you dealt with the cars and so forth. So and this is just one of the things I wanted to just share with you while I was thinking about it. So now, regarding some other things, just that knowledge that I wanted to share with you and all that. One thing I always thought about as I'm growing older, because you are too, I mean, we all are, part of life, it's just there are those who say, well, you age gracefully. Yeah, there is a truth to that. And that's it's pertaining to how well you take good care of yourself. Of course, no smoking, no alcohol, don't drinks at all. Yeah, they say beer here and there. It might be okay. Doesn't matter. Your decision on that. So the type of food you eat, the type of food you make at home versus what you eat outside, all this is important. And why is this? Why am I wanted to talk about this one? Because now I realize in my age, and you all know what my age is, right? Can anybody guess my age? I think I did share this with you guys before. Let me see in the comments what you guys can put in. When I was in China, someone, he came up in a conversation about this, and I said, well, how about if you guess my age? He said, you're 43. Karakulak, yes, indeed. I was 50. I'm 58. So 2 more years to cross into 60. Iron, I'm 58, almost a decade from 50. So I'm 58 to be exact. So and I'm a Capricorn. For those who understand the zodiac, I was born in January. That's there are some very, very famous people who were born in January. But anyway, what made me think about this one? Because now I feel I am in a third phase of my life. I don't know whether you know or not. Something. Hank, yeah, I wish I was 25. That would be nice. I'll fix the mistakes that I made back then when maturity wasn't there, even though I was a little bit different than the average 25-year-old back then. So here's the thing. As I said, there are 3 phases that I believe. The first phase of your life is that's when you learn. You learn things, you acquire knowledge and all that stuff. Second phase of your life is when you earn money and all that stuff and make a living and understand where things are. Then comes the third phase. And the third phase to me is crucial. Of course, without the first two, there will be no third. That's when you give back, because you learn, you earn, and you repay or you give back. And it makes perfect sense. So, because that's how life ought to be. You can't just take. There are some of us humans, because of human nature, you know how it is. Some of us, we just take. You have to give. And how do you give back? It's not about just monetary. This is our problem in America. Our problem in America is we measure everything in terms of monetary or materialistic stuff. I have to see the type of car you drive to see whether you are successful or not. I have to see the type of house you live in, whether you are successful or not. And all that doesn't matter, because you could have all that and you still have nothing here. And you all know, guys, you run to those people, right? They are well-to-do financially, but the moment you start having a conversation, you realize they got nothing. They got nothing whatsoever. So I even used to talk to some people. They said that they had some encounters with individuals in a football, American football, that is, and you know how those football players sign contracts for millions and millions of dollars, but they couldn't put a sentence together correctly, grammatically correct. Nothing here. Yeah, they have that talent, which is fine. Nothing is wrong with that, and I hope they do well with it. And you look at it, just look at the life of Mike Tyson. If you only know the amount of money, but Mike Tyson was never literate about finance. That's why they took advantage of him. Those who were circling him, around him, took advantage of the guy, because he never had the opportunity. But again, you have to understand, as an example, the background, the broken background he came from, whatever, and so forth. That's my point. It's just to understand the life, three phases: when you learn, you earn, and you repay or you help others to give back to humans. Doesn't matter who. We always say, well, we're gonna have to take care of family and all loved ones and all that, but humanity. I remember it when I was in China. Again, why I give the example of China? Because it's a different culture altogether. I don't know anybody in China, and yet the people that I run into in the streets or talk to, whatever, they were just kind enough. Well, the only connection, like I mentioned yesterday to Carl when we were talking, is that human connection. That's all it was. They didn't care what I look like or where I'm from or whatever. It won't matter. It won't matter. It's you as a human being, and that's what mattered the most. And I think some of us, and again, in my country here, it's unfortunate because we are not focusing on really what matters. That's the way I see it. So, and that's why I feel I've been drawn to Asia. I've been always drawn to Asia since I was a kid, literally. Not beside the martial art movies, whatever. That's why when I was in that city, I wish I had the Qibao, yeah. And you see all the architecture, the old Chinese architecture. I was just mesmerized by staring at that. I stood there for a second or two, and I think somebody thought that I froze in my spot. And all it was I was looking at that architecture, and I went back to when I was a kid looking at that. So, yeah. AF Gordon, Carlion, salam to you as well. Good to see you. So that is the way I see it, guys. Just and again, to me, when I think about our community, I think about it in terms of, yes, I share the knowledge with you and do this, whatever. But like I always say, I'm also here to learn from you as well. It goes both ways, because if we don't do that, we're not going to learn from each other. It's not just me sitting on this side. It's you on that other side as well, that you are providing knowledge. You might not tap into that yet, but you're going to need to think about that. Oh, Raphael, thank you very much, man. Truly appreciate you. Something has changed. Now we are looking for Steve Largent to sign him as the starting wide receiver in the NFL. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea who Steve is. I don't pay much attention. I don't know much about I mean, I'm aware of football. My youngest one plays football, but I only watched one game, and I had no clue what. He's a tie end. I said, what the heck is this? Whatever. So thank you so much, Rafael, for sharing this. After I'm done here, I will look him up. I look up who's Steve Largen. I'll check him out. So thank you so much for your super sticker. Truly appreciate it. Appreciate you. Irene, thank you for sharing. I was leaving for China to learn calligraphy and Tai Chi. I love rice. Let me share this with everybody so you can see it. Right here. I was leaving for China. My computer is flickering all the time. I love rice and noodles. Visit the palace and walk at the Great Wall, and sure and read one day. You will. You will. Just keep it, because I've been thinking about China for a long time. And when it was meant to be, thanks to the community, because that's what I give credit to. It's the community that have supported that trip. So I shall never. That's something that's going to stay with me for the rest of my life, and I'll pay it forward in my own way, because again, that's to me the way I look at it. So you will just keep it positive, think positive, and you keep it as always. Rafael, once again, man, appreciate you. Old people are who we are putting in charge. I see. I see. Yeah. Yeah, because of is it the wisdom? Is it the knowledge? Yeah, what is it? Why do you think, Rafael, and not just to Rafael, to all of you guys, why do you think that is? Makes sense to put the older people, because the experience is part of it. But if you can share on the chat box your opinion as to why that is. Uh, Thank you, Rafael. Truly appreciate you. Q7E. Dr. O, one of my disappointments I see in China is that they seem to have completely abandoned the traditional Chinese architecture. I wish they keep some of it up. Believe it or not, at least, once again, based on what I saw and the limited locations that I've been in, I didn't go far out. Next time when I go, I'm heading out to the area of Tibet, Xinjiang, and all that area there. So, and there you're not going to see skyscrapers. No, you're going to see the traditional ones. So I think also because China had to keep up with the developments in the world. So that's just how it works. That's just how it works. So wow, my computer is flickering so bad. Do you guys see that? Notice that? I don't know. So I know, like, the weather is fine, but I don't get it. Uh, so that is the reason why. Yes, I saw some skyscrapers. They are far beyond what we have here in the U.S. But you're absolutely correct. The traditional architecture has a character to it. So that's what it is. Let No flickering, Karakolak, but it is on my computer. Well, as I'm okay if it is. Oh, my tea. Thank you, dear wife. My appreciate. Oh, thank you so much. My dear wife brought me tea. Now, this is from, you all remember this pack, right? This is from Ray. The one who, when I met with him, he brought me a gift as tea. So that's what I'm drinking here. So the tea brought me I got it from China here. Pardon me here. I want to just take a sip. Wow. Jasmine tea. So, oh, Rafael, what did you put here, man? It is wrong. No reason why a country, 300 million people, the two candidates should be in their 80s. Someone like should be running. I agree with you, Rafael. And thank you, first of all, for another super sticker. I agree with you. I agree with you, because when we think about the whole, why are we having, is that young people are not smart enough? Young generation not smart enough? But, I'm sure there are some. It's just some people are not willing to. American politics is very dirty, if you understand what I'm referring to here. So some people do not like that. They just want to, because once you go into that trajectory, you have no more privacy. You have no, your family is exposed, everything. And some people do not want that. I was asked to consider running for Congress, and I shared this story with you guys. And I said no, because I know how it works, and they'll make up the dirt no matter what, and you end up fighting just to clear your name instead of focusing on the people's business. So, and to me, it's not worth it. So, but I see your point, Rafael. You got a point there. You got a point there. So, let me see here something else. Ramples one. Well, this is the traditional. It's made there. They had. I bought two kinds of tea in addition to the gift I get from Ray, and one of them was jasmine tea, because I like to drink jasmine tea. So usually I add lemon to it, and ginger, and a raw honey. That's usually what I do in the fall going into winter. So jasmine tea is one of them, and it's very good. So it's because you don't have any sugar, you don't have any whatsoever. So Karakulak, Dr. O, is French your maternal language? No. Well, actually, it's because I was raised in Morocco. I was born in Morocco. I lived a few years. My ancestors are from Sevilla in Spain. So if you go back to the history of the conquest, so my ancestor had to flee from Sevilla and Andalusia to the mountains up north in Morocco. So my family, half of them are Europeans, because my mom's side was European, my dad's side was Moroccan. So you grew up with learning two languages, Arabic and French. When I say Arabic, you're talking about the MS, Modern Standard Arabic. So then the French, because it was half of the family are Europeans, they don't speak. As a matter of fact, I was the only one in the younger generation in my family to speak Arabic. None of them. They all educated in Sorbonne. I don't know if you know Sorbonne University, one of the famous. As a matter of fact, one of my cousins, he was the last one to get his state doctorate. State doctorate, they don't have it. They don't offer that anymore in Sorbonne University. State doctorate is another level above PhD. So, and he was the last among the last to get it in Sorbonne. So I grew up with two languages. Of course, we had English, of course, and Spanish. I didn't pick up on Spanish fluently, and that's how I end up learning that one. So, time now 9. Thank you very much. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving as well. Mine was invited over to Elizabeth's house with her husband and family and all the tribes and all that. And I just don't eat much. I just had a little piece just to try, and that's a bit. But it was nice. So, all right, let me. SCH, Morocco has the oldest university. That is correct. I am familiar with some Americans who wants to learn the Arabic language. And I remember when I was in Washington, I was always asked, should we go to Cairo or go to Fez, Al Qarawiyyan? And I always suggest, not because of Morocco, but because of the environment. Morocco is very secure in comparison to Egypt. I'll say it straightforward. But also, you don't underestimate the value of Egypt, what it had to offer into when it comes down to the Arabic language. But Morocco, Al Qarawiyyin is a good, very well reputable institution there. So, all right, let me see. So, Irene, doctor, so am I, half and half, and I speak your languages too. Well, good. I'm glad. So, who is Ramples 01? Doctor O, usted hablar español. Yo también. Sí, interesado en hablar español porque interesado en hablar español poquito para trabajar en América del Sur. It's always like I always think about that story of the family Destinos used to be. I don't remember it. I was talking to someone. Destinos, una historia muy importante para la familia Castillo. una historia de amores, de secretos y de aventuras. So Spanish, yes, I can get along by. Do I speak it fluently and write it grammatically correctly? No. So that's why I never say I speak Spanish. To me, the rule is if you can speak and write a language grammatically correct, then you are considered. I can speak Dari in Afghanistan, but do I speak it fluently? No. I can carry a basic conversation because I spent years and years in Afghanistan, but I don't consider myself fluent in those. So it's always nice to know the language. One regret that I have is I didn't pick up the Chinese language back in the 90s when the Pentagon approached me because I got a phone call from the Pentagon to go into the military. So I usually don't talk much about that. So let me see. Oh, Army with Harmony. Have you started riding bikes again? No, I have not. No. There's only so many times in a day, and usually because I really have my day structured. If I deviate too much, it throws me off because even my eating time has to be in a certain time. It's not that I am not this flexible. It works for me, for my body, for my brain. If I keep up with that schedule, for example, when I have I don't know, you want to call it breakfast, lunch, whatever, because I don't do lunch. I eat at 10 o'clock. So I have to eat at 10 o'clock and I eat at 6 o'clock for my dinner, and that's it. So if I deviate from that, it kind of throws me off because by 9:30, I have to be in bed. And I like to sleep solid hours till about 6:30 in the morning or even 7. And when I wake up, I'm good to go for the rest of the day because sleep is very, very important. I remember Dr. Stewart was talking about this one here. So uh, Milty Tom, Dr. O, did you learn Arabic for work or is it family background? Well, I went to school in Arabic, so I learned in Morocco and I learned Arabic there, but also where the language came in, it was during my work in Washington, because remember I used to deal with foreign countries. So and I'll share with you whatever I can, of course. I was the one that has to facilitate the conversation among the policymakers from our country and a foreign country. So especially when you're dealing with certain sensitive issues, you have to have somebody who has an in-depth understanding of the language and nuances of it, and the colloquial language as well. So that was part of my work, and that's where my Arabic. I didn't go to DLI, the Defense Language Institute, where you learn Arabic language there. So that's where it came from. Francis Tango, good to see you as always. So let me. Karakulak, I agree with you. I agree because one of the key factors about being structured, guys, it teaches you discipline. I'm sure you are disciplined enough. You know what I mean by that. But when you are structured, but again, that doesn't mean that doesn't mean you shouldn't be flexible. That's not what I'm referring to. It's just having that structure helps you plan out your day the moment you get up. I get up in the morning. I'll share with you my own what I do. So I get up in the morning. What is the first thing I used to do? Not anymore because I start to realize the bad impact of having a phone close to me when I wake up. So of course the phone never stays in my bedroom when I go to bed, because this is why I carry this here, guys. I'll show you. That's anti-radiation. So I carry this with me everywhere I go because radiation is everywhere. So the phone doesn't stay with me in my room. But I forced myself now when I wake up. Where's the first thing I do? While I'm in bed, I sit in bed, stay in bed for about 5 minutes, quietly. No talking, no phone, nothing. Just sit quietly listen to my inner voice. That's all it is. Before I move an inch. Second thing you do is you make your bed right away. Because to me, if I don't make the bed, my day will go unorganized. I don't know what the connection there. I've been doing it for years. Yeah. Yeah. When I was by myself, way back in my 20s and all that stuff. Actually, from 20s all the way to for quite a while. I never had a sheet in the sleeping bag. I spent most of my teenage years and all that in sleeping bag. Never ever. I still have my sleeping bag right here. Of course, I don't use it now, but and again, the reason I do that, guys, is because to me, when I make my bed in the morning, before I move an inch, it set the tone for my day. Then I'll go about my physical exercises and the treadmill and jumping on the trampoline and the stretches and you name it. You name it. So even now, I start to feel more and more the need for increasing the distance for walking. Why? Because in walking, it gives you an opportunity to think. There's an inner voice. You just have to connect to it. And I'm just at the beginning of this. That's why I want to tune into this one here. And that's how because even my shoes, I bought a special shoes that don't have a heel, they have nothing. Connecting to the ground. Because you're all familiar, I don't know whether you are or not, the frequencies in on Earth, the Earth magnetic field and all that. Now, to some might not make sense. I usually don't talk to people much about all this, but for me, that's what I do. So even my shoes now have to connect, and there is a big difference. You start to notice over time because your thinking starts to clear up. You start to see things differently. And that is one of the reasons why I get the energy throughout the day to be able to do the research, compose all that information into a cohesive setting, and share the information with you and all that stuff. All that takes a mental energy. But how you're going to strengthen the mental energy, of course, with your own habits, what you do at home, what you eat, what you drink, the way you sleep, and so forth. So even in my own kitchen, if my kitchen is a mess, I won't stand in the kitchen. I leave till it's organized. It just, some of us are that way. So I like moccasins. No, it's not. Those are special. I'm gonna get the name of them next time on the ship. But I know about the moccasins. I used to have them when I was a teenager back then. So that's. Oh, Irene, merci beaucoup. C'est très gentil de ta part. Thank you so much for your super sticker. Shukran. So you wrote in French, in Spanish. Merci, gracias, shukran, danke. I'm assuming that's a Dutch, and I don't know the other ones. That's Russian, if I'm not mistaken. So thank you so much, Aaron. Truly appreciate you. So that was the whole idea of, to me, why I do what I do, and you keep up with the. So being, or just to go back to that original comment here about being structured, it does help with discipline. And again, to me, there's one thing that I want to avoid. As I grow older, I don't want to depend on people, because most of older people is the health that's going to fail them. So for me, I want to maintain till last day. When it's time for me check out, I don't want to depend on anyone. That just it's my nature. I've been always on my own, so I don't wait for others. I don't. So that is and that's why I wanted to. That's why I enjoy this kind of conversations with you guys, just to share knowledge, and that's what we're here for. So, let me see. What does? Oh, Francis Tango, I see your question here. What does Damascus mean to the Arabian world, to the Arab world? Big deal, Francis. Big deal. A lot of people have no idea. When I say a lot, I'm referring mainly in the Western world. It's just because, and I don't shy away from saying it, we are poor readers of history. Simple as that. Damascus, when you think about the Levant, the whole region, He used to call them the Sham to those who speak Arabic. But Damascus played a lot of major role into shaping the history of the Arab world. It's no different than what Iraq did, especially Baghdad. Baghdad used to, back in a day when he was the center for knowledge in the Arab world, it wasn't Alexandria, as some might have you believe, even though they said that the books were burned in the major library in Alexandria. No, that was a hoax because those books were stolen. And as a matter of fact, some of those books, there is a record of those right now in the Vatican. So, yeah, because this is why you have to, as one who lived in a different cultures, and you understand sort of the role of religion into all this, at some point it's going to hit you and you start to question. And that's why it's always worth questioning life. Otherwise, your life, your existence is kind of just a hollow. You are not you are not going to allow yourself to live in a hollow existence. You're better than that. And I know that for a fact. And I am not saying it to be Mr. Nice or make you feel good. No, you know better. So a life that is not sort of what's that saying goes. Einstein said that. Uh, does anybody remember the saying? It'll come to me. Let me think about it. Yeah. And unexamined life is not worth living. So, so, and that's really what I feel nowadays. When I say nowadays, I'm referring to the past 5 years, 6 years, 7 years or so after I left Washington in 2013, I think, somewhere around that time. My thinking just did about face. I just changed as far as thinking about so many things. It starts including the religion, including the other stuff. So, and that's where you start to delve deeper into understanding the purpose of your existence here. Don't tell me, don't tell me that you are here just because you were born and that's it. I won't accept that. I won't accept from any of you. It's because each one of us has some purpose to play, whether now, later, or whatever. There is no way. Where the difference is, and I strongly believe in this. Where the difference is knowing how to tap into that within you. That's all it is. So I refuse that notion of those who say, "Oh, he's so smart" or "She is so smart." No, we all are smart. It's just a matter of how we tap into that capacity intellectually in our brain per se. But that takes more than just knowing algebra or calculus or chemistry, whatever. No, no. We all have that. It's just a matter of how we get into it. Some of us get to it early. Some of us get to it late. Some of us don't even get to it because they never have help, assistance, or they don't know how. Because whatever you do requires discipline. This is where that discipline comes in. I refuse that notion for those who are saying, "Oh, you're just born to just worship," or no, that's nonsense. I respectfully to whatever, respectfully, but there ought to be a purpose for your existence here. There's no way. And even the idea of when we pass away, where do we go? Do we know? No. You just end the journey and start another one in another dimension altogether. Now, some will believe in that, some won't. Just think about it, guys. I don't know if you ever seen somebody who passed away when they are still in bed, whatever. It looks like what? You're like just sleeping. You just crossed to a different dimension, no more, no less. And I've always believed in this because, especially when I start doing this live streams, stuff, I start to think deeper about the issues and all that stuff. And that was the whole idea for why I get agitated with those who try to poison the community with certain, like what happened yesterday. I saw that person who was spewing nonsense. I just had to kick him out because I have no tolerance for that. Because to me, I always believe it's my duty and responsibility to protect the community. If that comes across, if I see it, I I take care of it right away. So, oh, this is very important comment here. Remembering stuff we learned. Yeah, and that's the problem in academia for us here in the US, because everything here it's all about passing the test. That's why we don't learn anything. That's why I made this decision not to teach in American institution anymore, no matter how much they offer me. And I will stand by my conviction. And I don't think some people do not know me that well. Uh, uh, that's what that president of that university that I was in made the mistake by thinking he was thinking I was bluffing. I don't bluff. So, yeah, it's learning. It's corrupted here. And I'm hoping to get an opportunity to teach in China. Some of you might ask, well, why China specifically? I don't know. I really, I'm just drawn to that. There's sometimes you can't tell. You get this kind of feeling about whatever, but you can't put it in words. That's uh, and but learning it never ends. Just because you get a PhD doesn't mean no. You just started. This is why when we graduate, what is the other term for graduation? Can anybody type it? Can anybody type it, guys, in the chat box? What is another word for graduation? SCH. Yeah, I hope so. And it'll work out in due time. Everything has its own time. So, okay. Keep the population dumbed down. You are absolutely correct, multitask. You are correct. I couldn't agree more because I saw it with my own eyes. Army with harmony. You say completion. That's one. Passing. That's two. No, there is a specific word. As a matter of fact, the word that traces its root to a French language. Well, we use it here in the US in English language. So I'll help you guys. Starts with a C. Graduate. No, that's the one. That's graduation. That's the one, Irene. That's graduation. But there is another keyword. And just because I wanted to, okay, I'm gonna share it with you. Oh. Hey, H. No, I'm sorry, not this one. HO channels commencement. That is true. So what is commencement word in French? Le commencement. And what is to commence is to begin, which means the moment we graduate and we attend the commencements, we're just starting. That's why a lot of misconception here that you get a PhD and you are now sitting on the top of the world. No, you're not. You're just starting, because knowledge and learning, it's not specific to a time frame for 4-year degree, 5 years, 7-year, whatever. No, it's a life journey. This is why if you look into old civilizations, go back then in West Asia and in the Middle East, in Iraq, for example, where Arabic language, the grammar rules for Arabic language were established. Astronomy, medicine. Go back to the Chinese history, some 5,000 years. The learning never stopped by the time the Qin dynasty was established or whatever. No, it was always learning. Same thing. Because that notion, we are thinking in terms of, oh, I got a PhD and that's it. I learned everything there to learn. No. I don't believe in that, and that's to me part of what's going to keep you keep you going, intellectually speaking. So, and that's why I found very important, at least for why we have the channel here. While I have it here, while I'm still doing this, I find it again because of that third phase in my life. Remember, you learn, you earn, and you give back. Third one. So yeah, you're right, Milty. You're right. We learn till we check out. Simple as that. So, it's that's I've always believed in that. So, and I tell you, when I was in high school, or whatever, never paid attention to school. So because the drive and desire wasn't there. So, but again, as you grow older, as you learn more and more. So. All right, guys, I am going to sign off here. I'm going to have to go work on the backyard and put some lights in front of the house, check out on the car, run two other errands, fix the front door because I need to put the strip on the door frame. I saw one tiny crack, so I need to go fix it. Then, if I want to paint one of the rooms, maybe if I get to it today. So take the keyword 7A. You're most welcome. Francis Tango, you want to learn Arabic? Yeah. It will. I mean, I think about it myself. Can you imagine if I would have learned Chinese? So you'll have English, Arabic, and Chinese. So you can. Just you need to find some centers in location where you are at. You start with the basic, the alphabets and all that stuff, but it's time consuming. I'll tell you this right now. It's a hard work, but it's all with determination. You have determination, you're gonna keep going with that. So, and that is, and I'd be happy to help. By the way, Francis, if you ever, I'll be happy to help with whatever capacity. I promised you that when I make it to your location, I will give you a heads up and we'll link up for a cup of coffee or tea or whatever. I don't do alcohol, so and what else I was gonna say? Yeah, and tomorrow I'm gonna go work on the topics. By the way, I did have. Thank you all to those who responded to the survey I put regarding the topics for next week, because I like to think ahead. I don't want to wait till because it takes me time to research and confirm the information. So, and I'm gonna see. I looked at the last time, and it looked like many of you, about 69%, almost 70%, wanted the topic of why does the U.S. fear the alliance of China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea? I can just tell you why. I mean, it's as clear as it can get. So, I'm going to look into all four topics, but most likely I'll give the priority to this topic because that's what the community wants. Then we'll just go from there. Okay, guys. I wish you a good afternoon, evening, whatever part of the world you're in. It's what, 1300 hours. So but if you are in Europe, that's your evening. So I wish you a good evening. Yeah, if you are in Asia, that's too early to be up anyway. So in any event, I wish you a good weekend, guys. Be safe, whatever you are, and I look forward to seeing you next week. As always, remember, and thank you all, by the way, once again. Let me say it again. Rafael, thank you once again for your super stickers. Just greatly appreciate you for that. Irene, thank you once again for your super sticker. I'm very, very grateful. Speaking of those, by the way, while I'm thinking about it, guys, remember to check out my new website for speaking. I have it in the description there. And also remember to check out, if you want to give a gift to someone, just get them one of my books if you think they will be interested in reading stuff. So get one of my books there and you share it with them. So, all right, guys, you take care and look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.